You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, John Paul Leek.
Together we are RAW. As every single one of you, you know it's Wednesday, and you know, no, we're not going to say that. It's welcome to AEW Dynamite review, RAW Rager, a show that like had a, I want to say overall AEW wasn't that terrible. You know, we had a debut in Andrade El Idolo. We had another surprise that was really cool. Maybe not the name for Jean Paul, but there was a lot of speculation of Aleister Black. So that was really cool. Well, we're going to be dissecting everything, but overall it feels like a pretty decent Dynamite. Not great, but in that average, that is like watchable enough.
Oh yeah, I mean compared to what we've been seeing when they had the schedule change to the when they were on
on the
Saturday night, or Friday night, whatever after SmackDown. That wasn't good. Those shows were just abysmal. Probably some of the worst Dynamites we've ever seen. This, at least, they're starting to give us some better stuff. They still give us the typical, here's Orange Cassidy for 20 minutes, but other than that, I thought this was a pretty solid episode for Dynamite. I'm not saying in the grand scheme of wrestling, this was great. No, but for what Dynamite does, this was pretty good.
Exactly. So, family, thank you so very much for being with us one more time. Thank you for supporting us in every single one of the social medias. Keep supporting. Keep subscribing to the channel. We love it. We want to keep growing, and we're going to keep delivering the greatest content ever just for every single one of you. And one proof of that is like the NXT, the Great American Bash Review 2021. Now, another instant classic with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, number 2. Really great match. Also, Io Shirai and Zoe Starks becoming like the new NXT Tag Team Women's Champion, and a lot of more stuff. Tegan Nox is back. What else, Paul?
Yeah, I was just going to say, the new women's tag champs, they get upstaged and outshadowed by the returning Tegan Nox. And, we also saw what else did we see? The tag team match between MSK.
Tag team match,
I don't
MSK.
really want to see MSK. You know what I mean? That just proves to you, we had some good matches, but then like that with MSK, to me, that ship has sailed. And it got, shot down by cannons, and it's sinking in the bottom of the ocean. I don't care about MSK, but apparently WWE does. So, we'll see what they do. And then, Gargano and
Karrion
Kross. We got the big announcement for that. Samoa Joe, special guest referee. Is he going to play a factor? We don't know. So we got to wait and see.
Exactly. So, family, be with us all this week. We have great content coming your way. So, sit down and enjoy. That's all you can do. Let's start with the first match, and that was Cody Rhodes against QT Marshall. And that was a strap match. And was this better than Riker and Elias? No, because Riker and Elias was to the point. 2 minutes, the sidewalk big slam. And that was 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Here we got to see another 20 minutes of Cody Rhodes coming back and everything. Was he able to put over QT Marshall? I don't think so. And well, we know why, because at least later he got his receipt. So that was okay. What do you think about the match overall?
Yeah, I mean, this honestly wasn't bad. I was making the jokes about that too, with Riker and Elias and everything. But I mean, this was all right. I don't like how it was, Cody had to do a big suicide dive to get things started. Why they couldn't just both put the strap on and just be men and, start the match. But I mean, this wasn't bad. Like you said, I was really thinking QT was going to go over. He hit the diamond cutter off the ropes then. And
that was really cool.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you got to tag all 4 corners and stuff. In the normal strap match rules, even though I don't think we've seen it in some strap matches, so I don't know. The rules are different, but this one you had to hit all 4 corners. But I wish QT would have won somehow. You really could have did it, to get him over. Maybe a Go-Go could have really hit a big shot on Cody and kind of keep revisiting that. Maybe Cody and a Go-Go again, since a bunch of people did like that, and they do think Anthony Ogogo is good, but. No, we didn't see that. He just hit 3 crossroads and then boom, 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 touched all the things, won, and it's
trifecta. Yeah, and we got to see Stone Cold, but we got to see Dustin Rhodes also. He took him out. Like you said, I mean, we saw a little bit of color, which is good. But then in the end, no, QT. Well, you're never gonna win. No, it's never gonna be for you. You're just a jobber. I'm sorry, but that's how you are. And like you said, pretty much. I like that, the low blow too. But Cody kind of it's not a clear baby face, but whenever he wants to be, just a heel. He does it, like you said, the trifecta of the crossroads. Cody gets the win. And, that's fine because we know that Cody is not able to put guys that, in his own mind and they're below him. And that's the case of QT Marshall. It doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter where he goes, how many titles he wins.
Yeah,
QT Marshall will always be below Cody.
Yeah, in all honesty, I mean, Cody probably should win because QT's a loser. Let's say QT would have won. would this have done anything for him? Would this have elevated him? Would he have looked more legit? No, because he's still going to come out, cut the same promos, still talk like a loser, still do all the same things. So, I mean, I guess at least put your star over, but you got to move Cody onto something that's actually good.
And I think with the debut that we saw, probably that's what's going to happen. So that was really cool. So, like you always say, can the guys finish the cutting a promo? No. Like we got to see like Sean Spears, like he's actually cutting a promo on Sammy Guevara. He says that was the second best chair shot that he's given. Because remember, guys, when the beginning of AEW, that was the first one when he did it to Cody. And he turned heel and all of that. Before he's able to conclude the promo, of course, he has another chair shot. And Sammy Guevara is like, bitch, this is far from over, my friend. So this is going to be a rivalry between the two. I don't know that, like, you go from, like, MJF to, like, Sean Spears. Is that actually going forward or going backwards?
No, this is going backwards. Also, after that match, you should have left Sammy off TV at least this week. Maybe have him come back next week. Maybe, something with what we see later on with Jericho. He could have came back and helped Jericho out or something. But, it's like you said, he loses MJF. So it's like, oh, man, I didn't win the grand prize. So I guess the consolation prize is beating up Sean Spears again. And this whole, like, bitch. To me, that's not intimidating. That's not cool. It doesn't make you seem like a badass or anything. I'm not going anywhere, bitch. Well, I wish you would. I wish you would go up the card and actually be legit instead of just being here.
I wish that you actually become main event. Yeah, exactly. So like that doesn't do anything. I mean, for Sean Spears, maybe just a bit, but again, he's going to keep losing the matches.
No.
So he's still on the losing end.
The best thing Sean Spears will ever have in his life, he already has, and that's his wife.
Yeah, that's it, and that's not a big accomplishment because you know what? They work in the same place, and that was the only reason they're together. Let's talk about Kenny Omega. He doesn't have an interview with also Tony Schiavone. This was okay. Omega, like, kind of like a lot of people making fun of him because he looks like Triple H in 2005. So that was okay. And then he got Don Callis, so that always lowers the quality of Kenny Omega on the microphone because Don Callis, like I said, he's overrated. Like, he's on every single show. We got to see Impact. Is he doing anything from Impact? No, actually, Impact had the lowest ranking, so far in the history with, like, also Access TV. The lowest one, it was like 65,000 people. Like, more people actually were watching on Twitch rather than on Access. So, that's actually not helping Omega. Evil Uno comes out, all of that. He's like the talking, like, yeah, guys on Omega, and it's like you keep ignoring the number one rank under that. So we got to see a big thing between Adam Hannah Page and Kenny Omega, big stare down. So like they're teasing it, but I'm thinking All Out is going to be when the match is going to take place, Paul.
Yeah, I really hope because, Fighter Fest, I think night 1 is next week. So I don't think they're going to rush it and do it at like Fighter Fest night 1 or night 2 or anything like that. I really think they're going to drag this out. But, this was good. The Dark Order is shit. Evil Uno sounds like he just has food or pizza or just like saliva in his mouth when he talks. He should not speak. But, when they're going at it, this was good. It got you excited. You saw the stare down from Paige. She shows the intensity, staring Omega down. Omega kind of looks like the scared champion. And it's not just the facial hair. But like when Triple H would kind of be on the run, he would get knocked down and you see he's like, so, what I mean? It gives you like them similar like vibes to it. So this is actually good. Like you said, if Omega would not be with the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers and Nakazawa and Cutler and all those other losers.
And Callis.
And not have Callis and just be on his own. Be like, I'm the god of wrestling. Like almost like Roman, but just like by himself. Yes. Like I am up here. Everyone else is beneath me. This would be good, but it's the waters are just so muddied with everything else. I still do like this. I wish I could like it a lot more.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. But like you said, they're going to keep teasing it. They're going to keep like building it, and that's good. At least they understand. Like this has to be like slow burn. Got to like cooking it a really slow mo. We're going to hear from Adam Hannah and Page in the week 1 for like the Fire Fest. So we're going to hear what he has to say. So like they're gonna, like probably he's going to accept the challenge, or he's finally going to acknowledge Kenny Omega and say, hey, I'm the number 1 ranking. So like you're going to give me the match. I'm the number 1 contender pretty much. So I won that match at All Out. So that's going to be good. And like you said, I don't know if like Hangman is going to get the title. I don't know, but like if he doesn't, then it's going to be like a bit lost for him because the second time that he goes for the championship and he doesn't win, we'll see what happens. Now that's all I can say. Tell me a little bit of this, Paul, because this sucks. This is the part of the show that I'm scratching my head. Why are the two of them, just like normal human beings, civil? Don't they hate each other? And JR in the middle is like, really?
Well, because remember last week, Paige gave the stipulation. He's like, oh, if you touch me, the match is off.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm on a full week with, no contact from you. Don't touch me. Don't be bullshit. all this stuff. I mean, this wasn't bad, the whole promo, but can they not do it in the backstage with the production crates with like stairs and shit? How about you like have a little room set up with some chairs, maybe like a sofa?
Maybe look a little bit more.
Yeah, like we just saw in the A&E documentary thing with Mankind. When he did the interview with Mick Foley, do it in a little an area like that where it looks half decent or something. But,
yes.
This wasn't bad. Darby's like, oh, you're just pissed because I was as popular and as good as you and as far along as you were in the first year of my career versus your 12th year. Blah, blah, blah. I had to live in my car. I sacrificed all this stuff to be where I'm at. You're just jealous. And because, you never left your hometown and you got married. And I'm like, that to me, that sounds like a lot better than living in your car, being homeless. But yeah, hey, you know what? I don't know. And then Paige pretty much told him to shut up. They were going at it. And Jim Ross is like, well, I'm getting scared. And it's like, don't worry, Jim, I'm getting scared too. So.
We're all scared because next week 1 of Fighter Feds is going to be the coffin match. They cannot, like you said, they don't have the rights to call it like a casket match. But this is going to be probably okay. Darby's a good wrestler. Ethan Page, regardless of the booking that he has, and it's always his own fault. Is a great wrestler. Unfortunately, like you said, the gimmicks and all of that is not helping him out. But here, I'm assuming Darby's going to get the win. Just because, he's Darby and they have a lot of, fading him. He's one of the most popular guys on AEW. That's what's going to happen. And, it makes sense. That's what we got to say on that, Paul. Moving forward, we go to, the 3 guys against 3, Inner Circle against the Pinnacle. This was okay at best. I would have much rather just to see, Santana and Ortiz against, FTR, just because the feud is right there. And Jake Hager and Wardlow, we've seen this way too much. Way too many times. I don't care for this. But what do you think about this match? Because again, for me again, it's just this is over.
I'm done with the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle, and you had Excalibur say on commentary, "Oh, I didn't think this feud could get any hotter." It's like, well, you're right, it can't get any hotter because it's dead cold right now. It's dead. It's in the back of the freezer. It's covered in ice. We didn't even know it was back there. It was crazy, but. This isn't good. This should have just been the 2 tag teams, especially with what we saw last week. Everything like that. FTR came out, all this stuff. And didn't we just kind of see, not the ultimate blow-off, but didn't we just see a big match between Hager and Wardlow in the steel cage?
But the MMA match, that's the end. That should have been the end.
That should have been whatever. You have Jericho and MJF. They're having their own little thing going on right now. You have Sammy and, Spears are doing their own little thing. These 2 guys, Wardlow and Hager, are probably the worst wrestlers out of, their respective groups. So I don't want to see them in this. We already saw them. Let me see these people who are actually good and can wrestle. And especially, what is Hager wearing? Did he just come from, shopping at the mall? Was he with his wife at Kohl's and, Bed Bath & Beyond and all this other bullshit? Put on some wrestling gear. This is shit. I mean, I like that the heels actually use some heel tactics. Because, you saw, he had the ankle lock, Wardlow's like, I'm bullshit. I never win when it matters. And then Tully's like, I'll fix that. And then he distracts Aubrey. They come in, they hit the big rig. And then, the heels are able to get the win. And, at the end, I don't know what the hell Conan was doing. He's swinging that freaking, the bedroom sock with the freaking, the ball in it or whatever.
And it was the flag right there.
He hits him in the back with the crusty sock. And then he's like, what the hell? And then, Tully takes him out. And then, of course, they just retreat. We beat up the old man. And then we retreat instead of beating up the other guys. And then they don't chase after him. They're like, oh, Conan, are you okay? Instead of chasing after him or whatever. I mean, I don't know. This to me is done. I wish these groups would have just split, even though the Pinnacle just formed, split them, because the guys are, they're better as individuals, most of them, than they are in this group.
Oh, yeah, that's a big problem. These guys, because they lost, the important matches, the Stadium Stampede and everything is we don't care, Blood and Guts, they won, yeah, but then Stadium Stampede, and the fact that they keep going at each other is a few that, it doesn't matter how much you keep giving it to me. I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter. You change the stipulation, a different type of match. Yeah, I don't care. Nobody
can name the last tag team match. Just the 2 of them that FTR won. Nobody can name that. Nobody can name the last match Santana and Ortiz won. Just the 2 of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Put these teams and these guys where they belong in their respective divisions.
Exactly. Give them a reason to fight. That it should be the titles, like you said. So they need to do that ASAP. So let's move on to the next one. Still Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. The face off, the standoff of Jericho and MJF. word wars like we always do, hear from them. Like, oh, Jericho saying, oh, I'm not Y2J anymore, although that guy would have beat you up. MJF, of course, poking fun at him. He says that he's going to give like 4 guys that he has to go over, I believe. And then if he's able to beat every single one of them, then he gets MJF. So, like, kind of very similar to the story that they told us with Cody. Jericho sounds cool when he's babyface, but, the best Jericho, we always know that when he's heel. And I don't know if you picked up on this, Paul, but there was a fan that actually, like, almost takes care of Jericho. He actually wanted to beat him up, and then Jericho, with the help of the security, he actually beat the fan up. So that was, like, that's something different. Some guys that from AEW, I guess, that they're really vivid fans. They're really passionate about it. But then in the end, MJF says that you got to shake my hand because where I'm coming from, Long Island, New York, we, like, settle things like this. And then he extends the hand, and then Jericho just does Judas effect, and he leaves right there, MJF on the floor. So tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, MJF is good, and I like the whole thing where he's like, you call yourself a demo god. That's a play off the word demigod. So how about you be a demigod like Hercules and go through these trials like Hercules did? I'm going to give you 5 trials, 4 matches. Each match is going to have a stipulation. You beat the first 4. The final one is me. You get your match with me. You get the MJF rub, and when I beat you a 3rd time, pretty much cement himself, move past on here. He'll be the real, demo god, the real, like, whatever of AEW and all that stuff. So this was good from MJF, but, it's just, Jericho's going to go through all 4. So exactly. If all 4 things is everybody in the Pinnacle, whether it's Spears, and then, Jericho picks a partner of his choosing to go against FTR, and then he has to go against Wardlow, and then he has to go against whoever, you know what I mean?
Or Tully.
Then him and Tully, they have a, I don't know. I can't. They play chess or some bullshit. Who knows? But this is bad because Jericho's just going to beat up whoever MJF puts in front of him, and hopefully MJF at least wins. But getting the Judas effect, I'd rather see them just shake hands and just be men about it and be like, you know what, like, yeah, I'm going to beat all these challenges. I'm going to prove to you I still got it. I'm still legit. And I'm going to kick your ass. Blah blah blah. Like
it would have been a little better. Yeah. And like the one thing is like there's like 2 months already for like All Out around that. So like we have a lot of build up. So you got 4 weeks. They can go over all those guys. So like they have a lot of time to build the story. But in the end, we know that like Jericho's going to win. So we're really looking forward to this. Probably not. So I was really looking forward to see the debut of Andrade Little against Mike Sydal. What do you think of the match overall? I think Sydal did a really great job, but like, is he helping the Little to get over? I don't know, because in the end, yeah, he won and all of that, but like, I don't know, match quality. I think Sydal gave me a little bit more of a better performance than a little.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you don't, and I mean, you see this a lot, and I don't get it. Guys should have. They said Matt Sydal, which I can't tell you the last time I've seen him win a singles match. But they said he's ranked number 4. So, again, I don't know how the hell that happened.
Dark, Dark, Elevation, exactly. Rampage, all of those.
But, Rampage Brown, tomorrow, NXT UK, legit. But,
is it Evil Uno or is it Little?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of looks like I think it might even just be Black Mask. I think he's a Batman villain. He wears like a white suit and he has the face like that. So I think that's what he was going for. So that's pretty cool. But, no, I mean, what my whole point was is, these guys who are debuting should have matches against jobbers. This should have been ding, 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 the bell rings, Andrade, the double knees, boom, all this stuff to the corner, the big, back elbow, he hits his finisher, whether the hammerlock or whatever he's doing for the finish now, boom, get himself over, win in about a minute. It shouldn't be a competitive match. It shouldn't be a contest. This is maybe the first feud. Okay, Andrade's first feud. Okay, he beats Matt Sydal. Okay, legit. Maybe move him on to the TNT Championship or something. This shouldn't be his first match. It shouldn't be long. It shouldn't be contested. Because like you said, Matt Sydal looked good in this too. Yeah. They're not going to bury him because he's their number 4 guy. So clearly they still have stock in him, push him. But no, Andrade should have won a lot more soundly, and it should have been against somebody else.
Yeah, it should have been somebody else that you said, like a knees right there, a hammerlock DDT one more time, 1, 2, 3. And then he actually did a submission hold, so that's a little different. He had something new to the arsenal. I'm okay with that because we need more variety. But I'm okay. The little low one, but that's what we're going to see next. Where's he going to go? Where's he going to fit? Where's his niche right now? So we'll see what happens, so good for Little. He's back, he finally is back in wrestling. That's really cool. Let's tell me a little bit about this. Fire First 9-1. WWE 1999. 2000, Christian against
WWE Dynamite. Fire Fest.
WWE Dynamite, yeah, exactly. Because this is way too past their time. I don't know why even we want to see this. I mean, it's bad.
When you look at this, and you and I both love Christian, but when you look at this, doesn't it look like two drunk like uncles like fighting at the family barbecue?
Well, yeah, like they're not even looking at each other because look, Christian is passing like Matt Hardy's view. You see,
and they don't even look. I mean, they don't look legit. I mean, Christian does when you see him, but like this right here, it looks like two old guys, like two middle-aged guys.
Yeah, no, it's not good. No, it's not good. It's just not good. It sucks, to be them. But like, I mean, I don't know if I'm Christian or if I'm Matt Hardy and I'm like, oh, you're gonna fight the other. It has nothing to do with respect. They probably love each other, and that's fine because they pretty much created the tag team division. They gave tag team division like a whole new ceiling. But to go at each other in a time that like I'm ready to like have my the best matches of my life with probably guys that I never wrestled before. No, you're gonna fight this guy. Yeah, okay. New company, you still fight the same guys.
Like I said, you saw Christian when Eddie Kingston was cutting that promo. You saw Christian just shaking his head. So I'm sure when he goes back home, he calls up Edge. So can we do the podcast? Can we do the podcast again?
Yeah. Can we do the show that we used to have in the network, Edge and Christian? I don't remember what it was, but like at least he didn't say much, but it was more comfortable. So like we're gonna see that also at Fyter Fest. Also, we're gonna see the return of Jon Moxley defending the United States Championship from New Japan against Carl Anderson. This is gonna be okay. There's not really a feud. Jon Moxley is gonna debut his new look on AEW. He's bald right now. So again, another guy that tries to imitate.
He looks like if Nick Gage and Sam Roberts had a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Jon Moxley looks like shit, and I mean, hey, Renee Young. I guess they say love is blind, but I mean, I don't know. It looks like she picked up a crackhead off the street and was like, "Oh, I'll marry him."
And hey, you know what? Like Lally said, love is blind. There's no other way to put it. The match probably is going to be good, and Moxley will not lose the championship against Carl Anderson. Let's face it. No. Carl Anderson is a good wrestler, but that's it. He's never been a main event guy. Nobody even knows Carl Anderson outside of like the Good Brothers. So that's what it's going to be, and that's okay. We don't really need to see a title switch on this, and I don't think New Japan will be like, oh yeah, let's put the title on Carl Anderson. That's all we got to say about that, Paul. So tell me a little bit about the best part of this show because it was unexpected. Nobody knew. There was a little bit of speculation because there was a video on social media that came out with Aleister Black coming out of the madhouse. He was all like, like the Joker, and then he called himself Aleister Malakai. So like everybody's like, okay, what is this name? All of that. So Arn Anderson is cutting a promo, and all of a sudden the lights go off, and boom, we get to see Aleister Black. So Aleister Malakai Black. So he gets black mass on Arn Anderson. That's legit. That like at this age, he's still taking those kind of like bumps, and we get to see Aleister Black, debut on AEW. So
and also with Aleister Black hitting the black mass, that I'm sure Arn is fine. But when somebody like Luchasaurus hits a super kick on Tully's like, so I had a concussion for like 6 weeks, blah blah blah, or a headache for 6 weeks, which probably was a concussion. You don't have a headache that long if it's not serious. But no, this was good because then we saw Cody come out and he just eats a black mass too. There was no like, oh, Cody, double leg takedown and gets punches on him and then Black rolls out of the ring and just, no, it was, they put him over. He took these guys out. And I mean, of course, Excalibur ruins it and makes him seem like shit when he goes, I wrestled this guy in Germany. Excalibur, nobody wants to think of you as a wrestler because you're shit. I'm sorry. No, actually, you know what? I'm not sorry. But Aleister Black, Malakai Black, Tommy and whatever. I just got to call him Malakai Black. That's the name. Malakai just makes me think of like an Amish, and it makes me think of like Roadkill and ECW, and like the Amish guy and all that. Yeah. But I mean, this is, he's good here. If they push him legit, I think the fans really like him. It's kind of like the same type of fans that, they like this dark, creepy gothic stuff. I think he'll fit right in. He'll be good. The only question I have is, like you said, I'm sure he talked about this to his wife. I'm sure Selena was like, oh, you're going to be on SmackDown next week, right? He's like, yeah, sure thing, honey. Hey, Tony Khan, yee. No, and I'm sure they talked about it. But it's like, it makes you wonder, why she would choose to go there when she could have easily came to AEW, been with her husband, and also she could have did something where she beat up Vicky Guerrero and been like, okay, boom, I'm with Andrade, I'm his manager now. And that would have been legit.
That is something that, like you said, like brings a lot of eyebrows because it's like, like it would. Even Andrade was saying last week, also be right before she came back to SmackDown. It's like I would love for her to be my manager. Not anything against Vicky,
and
but maybe, the relationship is there. So
yeah, and maybe they even did something where Aleister Black maybe even talked to WWE and was like, yeah, my wife's back, okay, blah blah blah, legit. Like, what are you going to do with me? How much are you going to pay me? What are your plans for me? Oh, yeah, maybe IC champ, okay, this much a year. Tony Khan's, what are your plans with me? And he promises him the moon and the stars and everything else. Oh, and we'll pay you twice as much as WWE's going to. Oh, okay.
No brainer. No brainer. It's like Cody or Big E. Cody. I like this bigger name. And you know what? The only thing I will tell you on that is, like, if I'm Aleister Black, I would have done the exact same thing. Because you don't treat me like shit, and then you want me to just come back right after. I got a little bit of respect for myself. Maybe Selena Hayes is going to bleed him out, like you said. Hey, at least I'm going to give myself.
The only thing, if I would have made a last-ditch effort for this guy, I would have been like, if I was Triple H, I'll bring you back to NXT, and, in a month or two, we'll put you over Karrion Kross. You'll be the new NXT champ.
Yeah.
That would have been the only
I'm pretty
way
sure Triple H tried, right? He probably said, you know what, I'm done. I want to try something different. So, hey, congratulations for Aleister Malakai Black. He's all elite now. But let's talk about, Ricky Starks. He's pumping the match that he's gonna have with Brian Cage for the FTW Championship. And he said, what does that mean? Fuck your wife. So, like, really cool promo. Taz is like, what the hell are you doing? All of that, where you have, like, even, like, security. I'm not medically cleared to wrestle yet. So, all of that. So, they went at it. And as soon as he mentioned, like, the wife, Brian Cage came out. So, of course, he's right there. And this is going to be cool. But, like, the only thing is, like, now that, like, they don't give a fuck about these two guys, now is when you put the championship on the line, right? Because Nia, throughout this whole time, almost a year that he's been on AEW, nobody ever cared about that championship.
And nobody ever will. Nobody cared about it. I shouldn't say nobody cared about it in ECW, but it's because Taz was carrying it. Taz was legit. Then the belt sits on the shelf for years, collects dust and everything. He gives it to Brian Cage. He might have defended it 5-6 times against losers, against jobbers. Nobody ever legit held that belt since Taz, and it's also a made-up belt. It's never been recognized. What did we say? Oh, maybe they'll introduce this belt, and this will be their mid-card belt, and they'll, then we can get some legitimacy to this title. No, we'll just introduce the TNT Championship, which is fine. That makes more sense. Are they going to change it to the TBS title when they move shows? Channels? I don't know. Probably not. But anyway, this FTW, I don't care. It has the same legitimacy as a title you buy at Walmart. In the toy aisle. It's not
exactly,
Ricky Starks, but the main point of this is Ricky Starks needs to win. He needs to go over. He's the real star. Way better worker, way better talker. Yeah, he's not as ripped as Brian Cage, but he's a hell of a lot, better in every other aspect. So
exactly. So now, and it sucks to be Brian Cage, but like he's good and everything. But again, he didn't win the big one with Jon Moxley, so down. And every time that he's gotten a little bit of push, down one more time, so it's hard to be this way that you want to do something cool but you can't. So sucks to be them. Like this is like the part of the show that like it goes really down because you don't have like anything to do for these guys. Statlander, Orange Cassidy with the bunny and the blade. Like you said, takes what, like 5-6 minutes because not really anything of importance are all these guys. Of course, Cassidy does the jinx. Everybody loves that. Now there's crowds. They completely are absolutely in love with Orange Cassidy. The bunny also sells that. Pretty average match at most. Like he got the chance to win. The bunny pulls him over. They use the brass knuckles one more time. In the end, Statlander takes the win with the Bang Bang Theory. Again, I said why they use that name. So they won. That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, anybody who sells Orange Cassidy's offense to me is just you don't care about yourself, your gimmick, or how you're viewed in the wrestling world. And I don't care about this. Thank you for going through the whole thing. I could care less. Baby faces win. The Butcher and the Bunny, or the Blade and the Bunny, whatever, they're buried. Nobody cares.
Exactly. They never went anywhere, so they want to have to do the Jungle Boy like a celebration for the 50th win that he had. I don't understand how you can celebrate that. Maybe they're celebrating that he's with Anna Jay. That's fine.
Yeah, maybe he went 50 rounds with Anna Jay.
Hey, you know what? If he did that many times, good for him. Keep growing that hair, buddy, because you're in the right track. So Dan Lambert shows up. He's a guy that he's a top American. He has a venue, a facility for MMA fighters. So, he actually got a really good promo because saying, hey, well, not, we're not going to say AEW completely sucks, but saying that how the quality of wrestling nowadays is not only the AEW's Impact, is WWE. Not a single show can get you excited about it. So he was cutting that type of promo by really trashing AEW, and then Lance Archer showed up, and then he did a blackout. Really cool stuff that the guy's willing to sell, to take a move and everything. So that was cool.
Yeah, and Oh, sorry to cut you off. I was just going to say the reason. I mean, I didn't mean just speculating, but like we said, this guy has MMA people, all this stuff. Who he has the facility and everything. Are they going to bring some? Is there some MMA guy who's like, oh yeah, I want to get into wrestling. Okay, now this is the start of an angle. Because what are you doing with Lance Archer right now? Nothing. Maybe there's some big MMA guy who's gonna, go after Lance Archer, and that's going to be a little feud or something. I don't know what we're going to do, but this to me just seemed weird. I mean, I get, we've seen it in the past where celebrities talk shit, wrestlers beat them up, because these celebrities are like, oh, I really wish I could take a bump, oh, that would be so cool. And the promoter's like, okay, yeah, I think we can do that, whatever, oh, okay, you're going to be legit and sit in our crowd, celebrity, camera shot. But, yeah, I mean, this just seemed like weird, too long of a promo to not be setting up some kind of angle, some kind of storyline or something, but we'll have to wait and see.
Exactly. We'll have to wait and see when it delivers. Where does it turn into something? He mentioned Dave Courier and also Ewan McGregor. So he mentioned that because he facilitates, like I said, the venues and everything for these guys to train. So we'll see what happens. There might be you said Nunes was there, so maybe Thunder Rosa, they were asking also Cyborg. He's been actually challenging Thunder Rosa, all of these MMA fighters. We'll see what happens. It will be cool. Next week we're going to see also night one of Fyter Fest, the return of Yuka Sakazaki. He's going to go against Penelope Ford, so Yuka's going to win. We already tell you how it is. They're not going to bring this girl all the way from Japan to lose. So there you go. That's going to be the match that we're going to see. We got to see Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, cutting a promo because in night 2 of Fyter Fest, she's going to go against Nyla Rose. Yeah, the same type of promo that Britt Baker does. She's not injured, thankfully. Ona is not injured as bad. The one that is actually injured really bad is actually Rebel. So we'll see what happens. But in the end, DMD, of course, Giovanni has to sell the same thing. This run has not been good for Baker. Why? Because there hasn't been a build-up baby face that is credible and is going to compete in the World of Wars against Baker. Nyla Rose is not able to do that. And, it's unfortunate for her because when she won the title from Hikaru Shida, that's what we wanted. We wanted, legit baby faces. That hasn't happened yet.
No.
So,
I do think she'll go over. There's no way she's going to.
Yeah, no. They AEW, at least they have, long title reigns for, the main guys. So that's what they're going to do. So talking about long title reigns, of course, we're going to go with, the main event, AEW Tag Team Championship match, Street Fight, Penta Cerro Miedo and Eddie Kingston against the Young Bucks. Your thoughts on this? To me, same match that we got to see last week. A little bit of differences, just they add the thumbtacks into it. But in the end, did we think the Young Bucks were going to lose those belts? No.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay in the beginning. Of course, there's all the toys, all the bullshit, everything. Kingston really sells. This is his type of match, the brawling, the street fight, all that stuff. Penta looked really good in this. And, to skip ahead a little bit, that spot where Kingston, he had the submission where there's the bulldog choke, whatever the hell he does, like Moxley. He had this submission onto, I think it was Matt Jackson. And then, Nick Jackson's up top, and he does a 450 onto the ref. To me, that was the point where I mentally checked out, and I said, I don't care, because I know it's a no DQ, it's a street fight, but it's a no DQ. Okay, so Nick Jackson could pull out a gun and shoot Penta right in the chest, and the ref would be like, hey, it's no DQ, I don't know what to tell. No, there's certain things where it's when you attack an official, that's when it's done. End it. It's not, if he would have did that to the guys, or did that to whoever, or, okay, that's fine. But you don't do that to an official, a ref, whatever.
It should be no DQ between them.
Yeah, it doesn't involve the official. Yeah, that's usually what it is. You never see somebody blatantly attack a ref. If it would have been a quote-unquote accident, I accidentally super kicked you because the guy moved, that's something completely different. That was stupid. Then you saw the same spot with the aerosol cans. Oh, I'm going to spray Penta. Oh, it's Matt. Oh, I better wait. Oh, it's Penta. Oh, it's Matt. And then Kazarian takes him out. The Good Brothers come out. All this bullshit. Eventually, like you said, Kingston, he gets the tax, because every garbage death match has to have thumbtacks now, Thank you, Mick Foley. We still love you. But, he pours the thumbtacks out and everything. And then eventually, Nick and Penta, they take a big spill in there. They put some thumbtacks into Kingston's mouth. I didn't see it, but they put some thumbtacks in there.
Super kick.
Yeah, then super kicked them, maybe once, twice, whatever it was, 3 times. He's done, 1, 2, 3, like you said. Nobody expected them to lose, but I'm going to be honest, the match last week was a hell of a lot better because it wasn't all this garbage. It wasn't as much interference or everybody comes, because it's like you said, they must have been waiting for I know it's predetermined, people, but it's the Good Brothers must have been waiting there behind the curtain. oh, he just super kicked, or he just
when is our cue? When is our cue?
Yeah, it's like as soon as he 450 the ref, the Good Brothers come out like, oh, here we are, and it's such crap.
And especially when you had a really great match, really hard, really difficult to recreate or have something better the week after. You gotta wait a little bit, so like build it up a little bit for me. So like that's why like the booking sometimes it doesn't really make sense. It's like, yeah, I know you have to give championship matches on the main event for the TV shows nowadays. Now NXT does it, AEW has to follow along. They have to do it, but I just don't like this because again, the Young Bucks won, and the tags, that was gonna be for me. That's how we're gonna close the show because, like you said, thank you to Mick Foley, we love him, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like 2 weeks in this, 2 weeks in a row seeing the same match, and I mean, Penta always looks good, but in the end, he always ends up being the loser. Eddie Kingston is all right, but that's his ceiling on AEW. In any company that he goes to, he's never gonna be the main guy. So this is pretty much it. That's what the show ended, and we're looking forward to Firefest. There's gonna be really cool stuff. Especially in the week 2, we're gonna see also Adam Hammond Page next week talking about like the Kenny Omega situation. That's gonna be okay. Aleister Black, Aleister Malakai. Where is he gonna go? Or Elito also. So Miro will be back. A lot of good things happening. Maybe Hikaru Shida comes back also. They need to like get that women's division. Give me a new baby face. They need even, I don't know if Tessa Blanchard is a bit. I don't know. Just bring somebody. Being Deonna Purrazzo, bring somebody because we need new faces in the women's division because we know that like. They're decent wrestlers, but again, they're not ready to be that main event player. So, Paul, your closing thoughts.
I mean, you pretty much said it. There is some things I'm looking forward to. What are you going to do with Malakai Black? What are you going to do with Andrade? Is he going to, get any better, or did he already hit his ceiling? Did we pretty much see what we can come to expect from him? But the main thing I'm really looking forward to is Hangman Page. What you're going to do with that? How you're going to build that up? Because he has to win. And like you said earlier, if he loses to Omega. Then he's pretty much done. I would say he still has a chance. It's like baseball. But after that third strike, I mean, nobody's going to care about you anymore.
So, family, thank you so very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Also, follow us in the social media world.
And that's Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, and Original Rope Break on Instagram. And, of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Tomorrow, NXT UK. So, you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...